to you, but this is the press gang, and this is exactly how we got this motley crew. Just by asking for volunteers at a festival, and look what we got. So, the sooner we can replace this lot, the better, right?
It was a beer festival, that would be kind of young one.
Right, we mentioned trade earlier on. We hear a lot about globalisation these days, but actually this is where it all began. In the 1700s, 1800s, on into the early 1900s, we were trading all around the world in all sorts of really valuable commodities like tea and coffee and spices, and of course human beings. Slaves were transported around the world for 300 years before we decided actually that wasn't the way we should treat other human beings, and we abolished slavery. But before that it was rife. The trade was going all around the world, and the British Merchant Navy was key to that. We did an amazing amount of work going around the world, but with no engines. Isn't that incredible? No steam engines, no petrol engines, no diesel engines. What were the only engines on board ship? Sails and oars and muscle. It's no wonder that was the last answer. You know, it can't be there. It can't be possibly the only one who can. And he has written his own shanty about trade. It's called Tea and Coffee. It's got a great chorus. Teach the chorus.
When you think about it, tea would be very, very expensive, and the very, very posh people, they would pay a lot of money for tea.
That lady over there.
So, they designed these ships called clippers. Does anyone know a clipper that's still in this country that you can go and see? Yes?
Yeah, you just say no.
Open question. All right.
You're not talking about haircuts.
Well, it's a cutty shark, and it's in Greenwich. And these ships were the last of the big sailing ships. Beautiful, fast, lovely sailing ships. So the chorus of this song is: tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee. Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
Extreme clippers, the fastest afloat, 18 knots, and that is no joke. 400 miles sailed in a day. We're driving her hard boys for tea and coffee.
Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
35 sails to handle the day, straining the halyards and pulling away, manning the windlass and manning the yards. Daytime and nighttime we're driving her hard.
Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
The captain's a hard man, he drives the crew on. No time for thinking of the girls back home. Keep changing the sails, boys, and mending the spars. The first one back home will be winning the prize.
Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
She's sharp at the prow and cuts like a knife. Hardly a bowway with a waist like your wife. Oh, lovely to look at, but a devil to see. Spinning along in the teeth of a gallon, it's
tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
the Suez Canal in the age of steam. They came along and destroyed the dream. No more will drive those clippers so hard. All of them bound for the breaker's yard.
Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee.
The catty suck, in dry dock she sits. They try to destroy her and break her to bits. But she lives right on now, a ghost from the past. She once sailed the oceans, her passage was fast, and it's
tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and coffee. Tea and coffee, we're sailing the oceans for tea and either, but never mind.